This man is the fastest man alive. In fact, he's the fastest man in the world. The current world champion, Noah Lyles, he's not the fastest man alive or any other. He's just not. But maybe he's a victim. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel if this is your first time here. Thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to go. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, now ready? Yep, good to go. Usain Bolt became the fastest man alive when in the summer of 2009 at the World Championships in Berlin. He ran the fastest 100 meters all time. That time is an astounding 9.58 seconds. Yep, you heard me right. 9.58 seconds. Bolt accomplished this astounding feat in Berlin, Germany on the 16th of August 2009, breaking his own previous world record by 0.11 seconds. This is a moment that Usain Bolt became the fastest man in history.
Powell, 4, 5 and 6. They're away. Terrific start by Daniel Bailey. Usain Bolt, though, getting into his running. Here he comes. Usain Bolt, challenged by Tyson Gay. Usain Bolt, 2 clear meters. Tyson Gay in second place. And in third place, Asafa Powell.
9.58!
Now, as of this recording, Usain Bolt is still alive. Now, this young man, Noah Lyles, he is the current world champion in the men's 100 and 200 meters. He is not the fastest man alive. In fact, he's simply not the fastest man, period. Now, for the 2024 season, track and field season, the fastest man thus far this year is a young Jamaican 23-year-old Usain Thompson. He accomplished the fastest time in the world thus far for the 2024 season when in the finals of the Jamaican National Championships 2024, he ran a very impressive 9.77 seconds. This made him the fastest man in the world for the 2024 season. Again, that is not Noah Lyles.
Men's 100-meter final. Set. Up. Seville and Thompson got away like rockets. Seville looks imperious. Thompson looks imperious and commanding as well. Usain Thompson steps to the fore. And
so Jamaica's Usain Thompson is thus far for the 2024 season in the men's 100 meters the fastest man in the world with a time of 9.77. Again, that person is not Noah Lyles. Now, to further dispel the confusion about Noah Lyles being the fastest man in the world, or the fastest man in any circumstance or in any universe, according to World Athletics listing of the fastest 100 meters ever ran by any male in the world, the fastest, of course, is Usain Bolt with that 9.58. Number 2 is the American Tyson Gay with 9.69. which is equaled also number 2 by Jamaica's Johan Blake, who ran also the same time of 9.69. In at number 4 is Asafa Powell of Jamaica. Blake, Bolt, and Powell are all of Jamaica. Asafa Powell's time is 9.72. Justin Gatlin of the United States is number 5 with 9.74. Christian Coleman of the United States is number 6 with 9.76, which is equaled by Trayvon Bromell of the United States, the same 9.76. And with a time of 9.76, also at number 6 is Fred Curley of the United States. In fact, Noah Lyles does not appear in the top 5 in terms of fastest 100-meter sprinters. In at number 9 is Ferdinand Omanyala of Kenya with 9.77, which is matched at number 9, Usain Thompson of Jamaica, which we discussed earlier, 9.77. Then at number 11 is Nesta Carter of Jamaica with 9.78. Maurice Green of the United States is in at number 12 with 9.79. In at number 13 is Steve Mullings of Jamaica with 9.80. Lamont Marcel Jacobs of Italy is in at number 13 with 9.80. And then 15th fastest man in history is Noah Lyles with his new PB of 9.81. So I'm not quite sure if that makes the point for you. Noah Lyles is the 15th fastest man in the history of the of the men's 100 meters. He's not even in the top 10. And the first time I saw this hoopla about him being the fastest man, I was baffled. They said the same thing about Sha'Carri Richardson. And I kept saying, I don't understand, where is this coming from? I mean, I don't think Noah Lyles started this, so he might be a victim in this process. But the thing about the media is that the media tends to be we tend to be very nationalistic, and we're going to push our own. So I suspect this came from the American media. So I'm going to say it unequivocally. Noah Lyles is the 15th fastest man. He's not in the top 5 or top 10 in history. He's not the fastest man this year. He wasn't the fastest man last year or the year before. I don't know of him ever being I think briefly he might have been at some point. I think last year at some point he was the fastest man for that year. But Noah Lyles is not the fastest man. So I've always been confused by where this madness came from. Now, this is a problem. We make statements sometimes that has no backing or bearing in facts and our history. You know? We try to deal with facts and history here. And I'm going to keep saying this because every time I say something that seems to be critical of Noah Lyles, you all think I don't like him. I actually really like this young man. I think he's great for the sport. I think he's a fantastic athlete. There's no doubt about it. But he's sure as crap not the fastest man alive. He's never been. However, I did see something recently that made me feel good. Because Noah Lyles himself decided to talk about this fact of him being the fastest man alive. Now, I heard somewhere that there was some thing between him and Usain Bolt. I can't say that's true, but what I do know is that he was man enough to come out and concede that he is in no way, shape, or form the fastest man alive. Now, the reason he gives, I think, is even more baffling. So let's read what Noah Lyles posted on his Twitter feed, or his X feed, apologies. On his X feed, Noah Lyles, the world champion in the men's 100 and 200 meters, wrote, I would like to address the comments surrounding the fastest man title. The titles fastest man and fastest woman are awarded annually to the winners of the 100 meters at the World Championship. I won the men's 100 meters at the 2023 World Championships and Sha'Carri won the women's. We do not intend to disrespect or discredit past records or times set in the new season. This is simply how the title is determined. Nonsense. I don't know. I've never heard of that. If another male or female wins the 100 meter at this year's World Championship, they will assume the title. I hope this clarifies the matter for those who had questions. All right. Look, even when I Google who is the fastest man of all time, I see Usain Saint Leo Bolt. OJCDOLY. So let me address this. And I'm going to try to do this as balanced as is possible. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. I would be hard pressed to believe that an organization like World Athletics would bestow the title of world fastest on an athlete simply because they won world championship. Not only would that be misleading, it would be incorrect and to some extent asinine. It would make no sense. If in that year an athlete has run way faster than whoever won, how can they be considered? And if that's the case, does that mean that Danielle Williams, Jamaica's remarkable world champion in the women's 100 meter hurdles last year, is she the world's fastest women's hurdler? Because I've never heard that term used with anyone else until I started hearing the US press using it last year to describe Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles. Now I know that they're excited because they had not, I get it. But I'm saying it's misleading to people who have just come into the sport. Noah Lyles is not the fastest man. I just proved it to you. He's the 15th fastest track athlete, male, in 100 meters all time. He's in no way, shape, or form the fastest man. He's not been the fastest man as far as I know ever. I think he might briefly at one point have held that title because he might have had the world lead. What I do know is that when he ran last year, he matched his PB, which matched the then world lead. So technically, he at that point became one of the world's fastest men. But since then, other people have ran much faster. And I get what he's saying, but I've just never heard anyone use that term before. Not until two Americans won. It's like I've never heard it before. It makes no sense. So let me be clear. Noah Lyles is the world champion. That's what he is. He is not the fastest man. He isn't. For him to become the fastest man, he needs to break the world record and or run the fastest time in the world this year. And he has done neither. Now he may do that, and if that's the case, then we'll say he's the fastest man in the world for the 2024 season. But this kind of hype creates confusion. I understand, I mean, it's much more exciting to title something world's fastest man. But to see so many news organizations who know better do this, it's bewildering. And if this was a Jamaican, I'd say the same thing. I'd say he's not the fastest man. Noah Lyles has never been the fastest man. He's the 15th fastest. There are a whole 14 people ahead of him. Way ahead. And in fact, it's probably more because several of those people have run the same time. So I respect the fact that he attempted to clarify it, but this explanation is an insult. It's an insult. No disrespect meant to Noah Lyles. This explanation is nonsensical. It would either mean, if he's correct, then world athletics is nuts. And I don't get that vibe from world athletics. And I've really never ever heard anyone else use this term prior to last year. I mean, if it's happened, I mean, I've just been covering track and field now for about 2 years. I could be wrong. But if that is the case, that when you win the world championship, you become the fastest person, it is nonsensical, because unless you actually run the fastest time, because last year I kept saying, how are they saying Sha'Carri is the fastest woman when Elaine Thompson-Herah is alive and right there with the 10.54, and Sha'Carri Richardson has run nothing close to 10.54. I mean, nothing, not even slightly close. That was bewildering to me, and I did a whole video on this. I did not have to come back and do another video on this. So let me be clear. Noah Lyles is not the fastest man alive. Noah Lyles might have briefly been the fastest man alive the fastest man for the 2023 season when he equaled the world's best when he ran in Budapest in the final of the men's 100 meters. He has not done that this year. He never did it any year prior. He has never broken Usain Bolt's 100 meter world record of 9.58. So he cannot be called that. And I do not believe that world championships would be dumb enough to simply give you that title because you won world championship. If they did, that something is seriously off. Okay? We cannot misinform people because it creates all kind of confusion. And I'm not saying this to belittle Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles is an incredible champion, fastest man alive. No, fastest man competing alive in the 200 meters. Incredible athlete. And the fact that he has transitioned in the 100 meters in the manner which he has done. When I saw him run that 9.81 in London recently at the Diamond League, London, I was very impressed. Because I honestly didn't think he could run faster than 9.80. Honestly, I mean, based on the mechanics. I was just wrong. I'm a big man. When I'm wrong, I can't say I'm wrong. But he is not the fastest man alive. And Sha'Carri is not the fastest woman alive. So I don't, this confusion. And Noel, please, this clarification is nonsensical. This is even more confusing because this would mean that world athletics are nuts themselves. I would suspect that maybe 1 year World Athletics said that when someone won the title and they were the fastest person alive. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Stick with us here at Peter Lord World for the Paris Olympic Games coverage, which starts officially on August the 1st when the track and field segment of the Olympic Games starts. You are Royals, Kings and Queens. Bless us.